checking weather now. Let me fix this since yesterday was crazy. Back to normal. No more apple juice for a while. No more apple juice. Yesterday was crazy. Well, let's make sure everything is muted, which it is not. Doing laundry. Things to do tonight. Busy, busy. When am I not busy? 006, just don't mention anything. Because we've been down this rabbit hole before. Deal, no deal. I swear it reminds me of Monty Hall. Let's make a deal. I'm not even kidding. It's just... How many times has he said there's a deal? Now they're going to meet in Geneva and sign it on Sunday. Iran is denying it. They're like, what's he talking about? So maybe they're just saying that publicly and they're lying, of course. Who knows? I got a headache from all this. I'm in the pool like, come on. People said, Bill, there's a deal. He's going to freak out. And I don't know. Everybody's speculating about what the deal entails, like what's the contents of the deal. Will, what are you doing up so early? Did you crash as early as I did? Oh my God. I slept for hours. What time did I go to bed? 11 and I woke up at 7? That's 8 hours. That's a lot for me. I go to bed 11 and I woke up at... All right, I'm going on TikTok. That means we're not talking about Iran too much. Not until we hear more details. You know what I mean? Because this is what the other side said. According to foreign news, a source close to the Iranian negotiating team has flatly denied claims that an agreement is reached. Denies claims by Donald Trump, some foreign media outlets, that an agreement has been finalized and is set to be signed in Geneva on Sunday. The source stated that the review and decision-making process in Iran has not yet been concluded and that both the Sunday date and the Geneva location are completely denied. And the United States might be freezing assets. Allegedly, this is what the other side... If this is what we agree to... This is nuts. Permanent and immediate cessation of war on all fronts, including Lebanon. Good luck, Israel. The U.S. commitment to non-interference in Iran's internal affairs and respect for sovereignty of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Complete lifting of the naval blockade within 30 days. Well, they got to open the strait. That's the agreement. The U.S. commitment to withdraw its forces from around Iran. Reopening the Strait of Hormuz within 30 days under Iranian arrangements. Suspension of sanctions on the sale of oil, petrochemical products, and derivatives, and full access of Iran to its financial resources. What does that mean? The necessity for the U.S. and its allies to present reconstruction plans for Iran amounting to at least $300 billion. $300 billion. 60 days of negotiations, ceasefire, to reach a final agreement based on nuclear issues and the complete lifting of primary, secondary, and U.S. sanctions. It looks like they're getting the sweet part of this deal, if this is true. In so many ways. This is sick. Reiteration of Iran's commitment under the NPT treaty not to produce nuclear weapons. That was in place before this happened. The NPT. This was in place before. How is this new? During the negotiation period, the U.S. has committed not to add forces in the region and not to impose new sanctions. Release of $24 billion of Iran's blocked funds during the 60-day final negotiation period. This is what they want. Half of this amount must be made available to Iran before the start of negotiations. So they want that $12 billion. Formation of supervisory mechanism to implement the agreement. The final agreement will be approved by the UN Security Council resolution, like that matters. Final negotiations will not begin before the release of half of Iran's blocked funds, suspension of Iran's oil sanctions, and lifting of the naval blockade. And the final agreement will only cover the fate of enriched materials and enrichment, lifting of sanctions, and Iran's economic reconstruction plan. Discussion about Iran's missile program, support for the resistant groups are definitively removed from the agenda. This is worse. If this is true, this is worse than when we started. This is worse than when we started. If what the other side is saying, which I don't trust it. So God only knows. And that's all I'm going to say on this topic. Because he says there's going to be a deal. We heard that before. No deal. Things change. Iran has to also agree. So I'm not even going to feed into this nonsense anymore. Because it's Groundhog Day for the last few months. I can't take it anymore. He wants that, I'm telling you, he wants that off-ramp deal so badly that it looks like he's ready to concede. And I hope this is not true. Because if it is, this was absolutely waste of time. Should have never started. Never should have this started. For what? Billions and billions of dollars spent. People lost their lives. And I'm not just talking about everyone in the region. Innocent people. But military personnel. For what? I don't get it. So that's all I'm going to say on it. And I said it yesterday. He says he's going to strike again tonight. I bet you this afternoon he'll reach a deal. Who was right on that one? What? U.S. war was worth it in the end? Hell no. This was absolutely not worth it at all, Ghost. At all. At all. Yeah, I know. I seen that they're trying to come up with this orb explanation. Exactly, Genghis. I'm off this Iran topic until something truly develops now. The love tapping, the back and forth, the rhetoric back and forth, until I see something being done with a memorandum of understanding signed, where then they're going to go and negotiate to make a deal, which is just crazy. The World Cup started. So this is crazy. I'm not even going to get into this no more. It's actually been a futile waste of my time dealing with this person, dealing with this situation. It's that simple. And I don't know how the Iranian people feel about it. Trump is psyoping everyone. Iran will be strangled, I believe. I don't think someone who wanted this in the 80s would just sign some BS deal. Well, let's see. It looks like I think the vast majority would say he's so desperate for a deal to get out of this situation for so many reasons. Economic, politically, things at home. So he can focus in on other things like Cuba, his birthday, UFC, 4th of July, etc. And get the global manipulation of the market under control. I don't think I'm giving him too much credit as this being a psyop on his part. I think he's desperate. And he wants a way out. He wants an off-ramp. That's what I think. This has been going on too long. It's been going on too long. The psyop excuse is out the window for me. If this was any other president, people would not say that. They would say, what the hell is he doing? Just to be fair. If it was Biden, Obama, Clinton, anyone else, people would be saying, what the fuck is he doing? But because it's Trump and he gets a pass on a lot of these things, and that's the way it is, I am right in the middle. I've been objective since day one. This absolutely looks like the worst shit show I've ever seen in my lifetime. I wasn't around for Vietnam. This is bad. If we have to see the details of this agreement that's going to go into the negotiation stage, there's talk that he's going to allow Iran to mix down the uranium now. I hope that's not true. But again, there's a lot of bullshit out there. So I'm not going to speculate on this anymore until I see more information coming out. I'm tired of sitting here speculating. I'm tired of being gaslit. 1 minute it's this, the other minute it's this. It's all to add confusion. Meanwhile, if this deal is signed, Iran gets a pass big time. But we got to see if it happens. They're saying it's going to happen in Geneva on Sunday. Iran is saying, we didn't say that. We didn't agree to that. So it could be just him talking. Or they're talking to people that have really no position to make decisions on behalf of Iran because it has to go through a chain. And they're just talking to these people and say, yeah, sure, we'll meet in Geneva. We agree. Let's do it. But meanwhile, we have to see how the IRGC and others respond to this. Who knows? But I'm done. I'm done wasting my time on this. It's become an utter waste of freaking time. In my opinion. Good morning, Mom. Mom says, only thing I can say about this, it'll all come out in the wash. I'm doing wash right now. It's like a revolving door, and I don't trust the IRGC. I don't trust them at all. How are you thinking of going into a deal with these people? Don't you understand they're using you to manipulate you for time? You know what they're going to do? They're going to agree to this memorandum. I've said it. I've been pretty accurate on my predictions, except for the other night when I thought they were going to take the Strait. And I got way, way, way too optimistic on that, and it didn't happen. I think Iran's going to go in, agree to sign this, use as much time to delay during the actual negotiations to make a deal, only to pull out 45 days in, 50 days in, and say, we're not agreeing to this. That's what they're going to do. They're going to stall for time. They're going to make the United States think they're negotiating, working on a deal with good intentions, only to what? Not agree to shit. And this is 2 months down the line. Then what? Then what? Everything's been relaxed. This is exactly what they want. Now let's see how much concessions the United States offers to Iran during the negotiations. Like they get unfrozen assets access, sanctions lifted. We need to see the details of this because we just don't know. Everybody's speculating, including myself. That's why from now on, I'm not talking about it. I'm not going to get in an emotional roller coaster like this, up and down, based on this person saying things, until I actually see action, whatever that is. I am so done. Done. So let's just see what happens. I'm not going to run with it anymore. But time will tell, I guess. Let's see if Geneva happens on Sunday. Do any of you believe that Geneva is going to happen on Sunday? That they're going to actually sit there and sign it? Good morning, Marianne. I know. I can't take it either, Marianne. That's what I'm saying right now. I can't take it anymore. When I came out of the pool yesterday and people were like, oh my God, he doesn't even know what's going on. He says we reached a deal. The war is over. I saw the comments like, what happened? But I wasn't surprised because we've heard this. We've been down this path before. How many times? 30? 35? 40? Oh my God. I don't know how you could trust anything Trump says after his promises of being, and a lot of people, even his supporters, because I'm in the middle. I'm an independent. Whatever I think I'm gonna, so I'm not dug in, Ghost. I'm an independent, like really down the middle, moderate, slightly right though. Yeah, definitely to the right. But I'm a moderate. I'm in the middle. But even the MAGA supporters, some of them said, this is about no wars, no foreign wars. You think a lot of them are happy about him getting involved in this Iran thing? No. and definitely not boots on the ground. I don't think anybody in the country wants that. So you have that part. You know, every Democrat, they're all against it for political reasons more. But the pulse is really, what do independents think? Independents are bailing on the president. They are bailing. Which, again, this is politically tied because they're thinking about the midterms. They're thinking how the economy. What is the main thing people vote on? Economy. Healthcare. And then the others. But economy is number one on everyone's mind usually. You know, some people will emphasize other things like domestic security, health care. You know, there are other things, but really it's the economy, and they know it. So they're trying to get this under control because they have to. You really think they care about other countries and their economic situation? They couldn't care less. They know what's at stake here in this country and what the people are demanding and what the people want. It's America first. At least that's what we were told. So the focus has to be back on the domestic issues. And I'm sure Cuba is not far down the line. That's going to take the shiny object and put it here. And nobody's going to be talking about if they're negotiating in Iran. That's going to go in the back. It's going to fade. Because once it's happening, if it happens, that's what's going to get, it's going to fade in the attention. They're going to put the shiny attention on something else to distract the Iran negotiations. You know that. It's common sense. Something else is going to happen, so everybody focuses on that. That's what they do. But they all do it. So like I said, until I see how this plays out, because the back and forth is nonsense. It's nonsense already. Yeah. What's Ghost saying? I don't know how you... I supported him. I was not a Kamala Harris fan. As an independent, that's what I like. I'm able to vote who I want and not dug into party. I like that. Like I voted for a Democrat up here who represents us in the House. But I also voted for Republicans. So I'm one of those cray-cray people that just based on what they're representing and what their interests are for us, the constituents, I focus in on that. What are you doing for me? Forget about party. What are you doing for my interests? That's what I do. I don't do it by party. I do it by what's important to me, my family, my community, my location, etc. And then there's the state issues, which New York State is bizarre. It's a mess. Not just with the governor, but what goes on in the city. But that doesn't affect us. But what the state does affects us. Not what the city does. City, I couldn't care less. I don't live there. But what the state does, and that's why voting is important on a legislative state level. And I don't think people focus too much on that. They focus more on the federal side. Who represents you in Congress, House, Senate, President, that. It's also very important for your local elections, state. Because they're the ones who determine what goes on within the state. Because separation between state and the Fed. So I'm all into that. Thank God I live in a nice, and I'll be honest, it's a nice red district. Nothing, like I said, nothing happens here. Everything is cool here. It's nice here. I love it here. But we want to keep it that way. You know what I mean? So it's not easy. It is not easy. But the thing is, when there's a candidate out there, you should take whoever's out there. And I know Democrats are going to vote for the Democrat. They probably don't even know who the hell the person is that's representing them. They just vote, check, or fill in. You know how you have to fill it in. They just fill it in. Democrat, okay, down the line. Republican, okay, down the line. But they don't even know who they're voting for. They never did the research about what they stand for, what's their positions, their politics, their policies, how they're going to actually represent the constituents. That's important. You just don't throw anybody there because they're red or blue. You should do the research and truly see what their track record is and everything else. You got to hold them accountable. That's the power of your vote. That's where you're in a position. And you should use it wisely. That's just my opinion. But I don't want to get into the politics because that makes me sick too. Anyway, let me see what you guys are writing. To be honest, the whole thing is making me sick to my stomach. You know what? And I'm going to just be honest. Maybe it's the best thing that we just end this nonsense now. Whatever it is, just end it so we could all move on. I hate to say it like that. I just feel bad and horrible for the Iranian people because they're not going to get regime change unless they do it themselves somehow in the future, some way. But it's not looking good for the Iranian people, the vast majority of them, let's just say, that do not support the regime. It's not looking good for them. It's definitely not looking good for the security between Israel, Iran, the region. Nothing's changed. If anything, it's gotten worse. Because now Iran is emboldened because they withstood the United States, the big Satan, the great Satan, the superpower. They stood up and they survived. And God only knows how this is going to play out moving in the future. And they know now, like they've learned in the past, by development of missiles and these drones, they know what works. You know they're going to, even though all this talk that they're never going to get a nuclear weapon, never is a definitive outcome. I would never use the word never. Never say never, because you never know. I would never use that word. Never will they get a nuclear weapon. How are you going to make sure that doesn't happen? Never? Ever? Ever? No. Because now you know on the low, they're going to try. They're going to go with the nuclear model of North Korea as a deterrent. They know that's the final card. They used the Strait of Hormuz. They got that. You think they're going to stop at that? They're going to get it. If they don't have it already, they're going to get it. Unless they have it and we know about it, that's why all this shit is going on. Who knows? But if they're smart, they get one. Because that's the final. The big card. Then what happens? Just think about it this way. Forget about what's going on now. What about 3 years from now? 4 years from now? You think Iran, you think peace is going to stay existing in the region? Nothing's going to go on between Israel, Lebanon, whatever? Proxies? The proxies aren't even on the table right now. How is that possible? Remember at the beginning, it was nuclear, proxies, missiles, drones, and the people of Iran. Where is all that stuff now? Where is it? I don't hear much of it. So, I'm really just concerned because if we have a weaker administration, I'm being straight up. You have a weaker administration, you don't think Iran is going to test it? And see how far they can push? Do they think that this is going to happen again where the United States sends aircraft carriers to the region and all these assets, that this is going to happen again under another administration? Or are they biding their time to delay till the president is out of office? To me, that might be the smart move on their part. Delay. This is not good. It just, like I said, in my opinion, this is not good. Unless I'm shockingly surprised of something else, like this is part of a psyop and something else happens, which right now, that is diminishing every day. Every day that goes down. My hope gets exhausted every day because of the things that we hear and see. Like I said, 1 minute in the morning, he's going to attack. And what did I say yesterday? He's using that. He's using that to see if he can get him to the table. And it seems like, I don't know. It worked. Maybe. The threat of more force every night brought him to the table. I guess time will tell. But I said, don't Just because he's saying doesn't mean it's going to happen, because that's all part for the deal. He stopped Israel from doing what they're doing for the deal. The deal's a few days away. Well, now it's Sunday in Geneva. It's supposed to be signed. He wants that off-ramp so bad. And he's going to flip it and say, because he's saying it already. We won. It's over. War is ended. We've come to an agreement. And then he's going to spin it like, we did so great. We won this. Look at all the things that happened here. He's going to sell it. And a lot of it will be gaslighting. Because he has to sell it. But again, it might be the best thing that we all just move on from this. I hate to say it. So we can take care of the business at hand, which is here at home. No? Again, I hate to say that like that. But it may be that point where let's just go. Let's just do what you're going to do. Sign it. Do what you're going to do. Negotiate. So we can kind of get back to somewhat normalcy economically and everything else here in our own country, and focus on things that are important to us here. Not be distracted by Iran. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. I know that doesn't sound good, but that's just a reality to me. Let me see what you guys... the attention thing is an easy read, though, Bill. Distractions need to be evaluated accordingly. But you know that's part of it. Those who vote decide nothing. Those who count the votes decide everything. And that's what's going on here too, by the way. Whose interests are they dealing with right now? Those with the money, the oil. It's their interests. The oil. That's money. That's just all this has come down to. Money. Not necessarily the people of Iran, but the money. Money seems it's always at the top. It's always related. Something to do with money. No? You know that these countries don't want to see anything break out anymore. They're trying to rebuild, and don't think they're going to create pipelines going through Saudi Arabia and be less dependent on the Strait of Hormuz going toward the future. They're definitely doing it now because they know they don't want to be held like this. But Iran could just hit their pipelines. So again, I don't know. The deal has not been finalized. Not that I'm aware of. There's talk that there's going to be a signing in Geneva on Sunday. I ain't buying that until I see it for myself. People start flying to Geneva, including the Iranians, to do it. Until that happens, I ain't buying it. I hope it's not how it looks, because it looks like he's thrown everyone under the bus. What was the point of it all, apart from making it worse? I don't know. This is the world we live in now, folks. What makes it so hard for us is that we were kept in the dark, not knowing what lurks outside in the dark. Like we don't matter and need to know. And the ironic thing is, we're going to be the transparent administration. I don't see like the most transparent administration happening in a lot of different areas, just to be honest. There's just no way he is done over there. I hope you're right, JC. But you got to remember, if you do a military action again, I am one for taking back the Strait by force, whatever that means. Take that card away from Iran. They're in a much weaker position, but it doesn't seem that that's going to happen. But if you did, let's just say you do a military operation, how long is that going to go on? Weeks, days, months, weeks. Let's just say weeks. To try to see if Iran does come to the table with your demands. We could still be right back to here. The only way you really take that away from them is you take control of the strait. Then they have no cards. The deal isn't even a card. We wouldn't even have to make negotiations with them because they would have to accept our demands. There's the difference. The negotiations is based on one thing, getting the strait open. Forget about the nuclear. They're willing to toss the nuclear down the line and talk about it. Why? They want the strait open. This has come down to the strait being the crux of the issue. That's what this is all about. If you take the strait card away from Iran, everything changes. They're done. They have no card. But because of this situation, they do. And they also hold the strait in their negotiation ploy with a deal. If I don't like this, the deal's off. If we don't like what this is going on, deal's off. President scrambles, calling people. We have to do this because they're going to walk out of the deal. That's what the appearance looks like. Now, the appearance may be wrong. Obviously, there's things we don't know about that goes behind the scenes. But you know what? Everybody's looking at this the same way a lot of us are looking at it. And what do you think they're thinking about how the president looks right now? Weak. Undecided. Like he doesn't know what he wants to do. It could be a big psyop. But when people are observing this, China, Russia, all the others, they're like, oh my God, he really doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Or what he wants to do. Or that he wants a deal so bad that he's willing to capitulate and just take what is there and walk away from it. Because he's bored. Can you believe it? Can you imagine what other people are saying about this? This is a bad look. Unless we're all surprised that he does something and then I'll be like, great. This was all part of a mind game, 4D chess and PSYOP and all this shit. Prove me wrong. I'll be more than happy to say, wow, great. But right now, based on the appearances of the ceasefire put in place, that was put in place because they said they were going to open the strait, which they didn't. So what was the reason of a ceasefire? Tell me what the reason of the ceasefire was. The negotiations? This 2 months passed. Where are we at? What was the reason for the ceasefire? It's been crazy. So unless I see right now, oh boy, we'll see. And I'm just being honest. Like I said, I supported him. I support this. But if this turns out to be a deal, and I want to see the detail of these deals. I want to see if they're lifting any sanctions as this goes on, unfreezing assets, frozen funds of Iran. What's going to happen to the enriched uranium? Because that's what this all was about. Are they going to be allowed to enrich uranium at any level? And what about the support of the proxies? Remember all the demands at the beginning? No proxy support. You don't hear Rubio or anybody saying that now. Because the terms have changed. The conditions have changed. It's called the Strait of Hormuz. All this talk was happening before the Strait became an issue. The Strait became the issue. That changed everything. And it's tragic. It's tragic for the people of Iran. It's tragic for the region. It's tragic for the world. And it sure isn't good for us. It just isn't. People could spin it any way they want. But if you look at it realistically and practically, this should have never started. If this is the outcome, we should have never got involved. Oh no, I'm going to look into that later, Jim, about SpaceX. Iran is making... Okay, let me see what Cage and Kenny... I'm not here to name call and say things because I'm respectful when it comes... I am. To the president or any president. Even if I don't like them, I stay respectful. But I can understand, the language. I always said that, Kenny. It's like he's playing checkers and they're playing the 4D chess. I've said that. Because that's the appearance of it. But again, appearances doesn't mean that that's true or the fact. Based on what it appears to be. Iran is making Trump look like a complete fool. Plus, this is making the United States... I totally agree with you. Cage, I totally agree with you. And I'm sure there's many people that agree with you on that. Look at all the personnel there, all the assets, how much we spend. It's got to be probably close to 40, 50 billion that we've spent on this. Do you know what 40, 50 billion does for the American people? You could have paid for healthcare for everyone for a year. Well, not everyone. 40, 50 billion for what? And then to our stockpiles, that's going to take a while to rebuild. Not saying it's gone, but it's going to take time and money to rebuild that. Using $2 million missiles to take down a $50,000 drone. How much you think it cost when they launched 49 Tomahawks? The other night. What about that ka-ching? What about losing the MQ Triton? Do you know how much that's worth? Hundreds of millions. I think it's 100 and something. It might be more. What about all the damage to the bases? How much is that going to be that's going to cost? Are we even going to reopen those bases that were hit? Do you see what I'm saying? There's a lot of no good on this. And then, of course, losing 15 of our personnel. For what? For what? So he could claim victory? Is that what this is about? His ego? I pray not. But this is not looking good for. I mean, I could keep going. Yes, market manipulation. It is market manipulation, though, because that's what they do. They keep the talk about peace, deals, to try to control the market. It's definitely market manipulation. There's no doubt about that. The dude, I can't. I gotta put my reading glasses, or maybe I put the chat in front of me. It's getting really difficult for me to see. It's getting worse. Let me see. This is a little better. Iran agreeing to this and then tell its people, the U.S. abandoned and maybe build that military stronger, rebuild the Strait to protect military from entering. Well, they know what works and what doesn't work. They sure found out. They knew that this was going to be a card they were going to play. They've been talking about this for decades, shutting the Strait down. It's happened in the past. This was not unexpected. You know? Well, yeah, that's happening today. Like Jim mentioned about SpaceX. It's public. You will now see the trillionaire Elon Musk after this cashing in. Oh, he's definitely going to be the trillionaire now. Kava, I pray for you over there. I really do. And I pray that the Iranian people get their freedom somehow, some way. And as crazy, as ironic as this sounds, and I don't know if it would happen, you know who your best hope is right now? Isn't it ironic? Israel. Israel might be your best choice right now. Not the U.S. Israel may not go along with what we're doing. They may be the ones. I'm not kidding. But they cannot stand alone against Iran. Israel's the size of New Jersey. Look how big Iran is. I hate to say it in this text, but that is a true David and Goliath scenario, just by size. So I don't know. I really don't know. 100 million and 49 Tomahawks, JC? 100 million. How much does an Apache cost? Oh no. Alexa, how much does an Apache helicopter cost? Ma, don't come in here. That bathroom's no good. Go to the other one.
An Apache helicopter costs around $52 million.
All right, hold on. Excuse me.
For a military aircraft.
Excuse me, I'm live. What's the cost again, Alexa?
An Apache helicopter costs around $31 million.
31 million. That's just small little things, though. Like I said, how much damage was done on our bases in the region, especially the Fifth Fleet. That shit is like leveled. How much damage is that? Are we going to rebuild it? Are we going to rebuild the other bases that were hit? How much is that going to cost? What's the price tag on that? I don't know. Oh, what is it, man? Okay, hold on. Oh, my back.
Oh, you're just like me now?
Yeah, my back is hurting. Here,
Mine's
take it.
too, man, over here.
Here. I may have to put the air back on. There are some. That I know on a definitely different topic. There could be some serious storms here later.
Oh, yeah. You said it.
And good morning to all of you. And I don't want to just keep dwelling on this. And there's going to come a point in time when, and I don't want to let go of this. But at this point, I'm making it clear. I am tired of the roller coaster. I'm tired of this up and down, up and down, up and down. Who knows?
Currently 77
Alexa,
degrees,
stop.
mostly-
Of what is going on here until I see some type of real action taken, whether it's military, deal, otherwise, I'm not going to put more energy into this. Why? Love taps, back and forth love taps?
The Yankees.
Alexa,
faced the
stop. So, I don't know how all of you feel and think about this, but it's just like, enough is enough. Really, enough is enough. You know what I mean? And I really don't like saying that. But it's to the point where we have to see some type of action on this. Like I said, if it's a deal, so be it. If it's going to be future military ops, so be it. But let's just get to the so be it. Because the longer this goes on and drags on, it doesn't help anyone, anywhere. I'm going to check True Social just to see if he put anything in here. Okay, here he goes. 21 minutes ago. The terms that Iran leaked out to the fake news have nothing to do with the terms that were agreed to in writing. What they said, including their weak and pathetic statement on having a deal, bears no relation to the truth. Very dishonorable people to deal with. With them, there is no such thing as dealing in good faith. If this is the case, then why are you making a freaking deal with these people knowing that? That just is an oxymoron. Amazing. Also, their totally rebuffed drone attack was last night against Indian ships. And remember, somebody corrected me yesterday. It was Indian personnel on it. Leaving the Strait of Hormuz is totally unacceptable. They better get their act together and fast. So now it looks like it may not happen on Sunday, like they said there was going to happen. And the leaked out stuff is this. So already he's flipping on it. Already. He's flipping on it. Already. How do you trust them? Just look what he says. That should speak itself. How do you trust them? You cannot. And what they agreed to in writing, did they sign it? Have nothing to do with the terms that were agreed to in writing. What they said, including their weak and pathetic statement on having a deal, bears no relation to the truth. Well, we don't know what the truth is. Show us. Show us what it is. Show us what they wrote in writing. Show us what they say. Prove them wrong. Prove them liars. Expose them. Show the world. What is in writing? Show us the agreement. The memorandum of understanding. Let's see. Let's see it. And look. Very, very dishonorable people to deal with. With them, there is no such thing as dealing in good faith. So with them, there is no such thing. There is no such thing in dealing with good faith. Amazing. So then why are you negotiating with them if you know there's no way you can in good faith? How? Tell me. Explain that to me. Have you not learned your lesson? That's the game they play. You even said it yourself, we're not going to be taken for suckers. Now we're going to be played on and on and on. Delay, delay, delay. This is what they do. Yeah, yes. I'm just putting up here what he posted on True Social. And this is 22 minutes ago. Already it's changed from last night. This is what I mean. What's he going to say this afternoon? It's just too much. It really is. It's too much. I'm going to read what you guys are writing. Tomahawks cost... I'm sorry about the noise in the background, everybody. Tomahawk cruise missiles cost between 2.5 and 4 million per unit. Wow. Brand new Sikorsky Black Hawk helicopter cost between 20 and 21. Trump's going to talk tough, maybe give Iran a love tap or two, then beg for a deal. But see, again, and it's also about market administration. But you see how we're looking at it and observing it from the outside because we don't know really what's going on. If a lot of us see this the same way, what do you think everybody else is thinking too? The vast majority of people. There's always going to be a core that will say otherwise. And I respect their opinion 100%. Because they could be right. They could be right. But if they're not right, this is bad. This is just bad. What the hell? After him saying there are a new regime that are better to deal with. Again, this is not a regime change. There's still a core of these ideological psychos running the country. You might have technically taken out the Ayatollah and they just replace it with a new Ayatollah. The Mouse Jr., the cardboard guy? I don't know. But that's not really the political aspect, the parliament, the judiciary, the National Supreme Council, the other ministries, the IRGC, the Mouse. All this has to get approval from them. The judiciary is made up of hardcore. The Assembly of Experts are the ones that assign the Ayatollah. Then you got the IRGC itself, the military arm, the strong arm of the regime. A lot of people, I think, don't really understand the fundamental makeup of how the regime works. You're talking about martyrs that are willing to die for jihad. We're not dealing, I keep saying this, we're not dealing with rational people. They think they're talking to people that are rational, whoever they're negotiating with. They're being played because those people don't have really... The parliament members, even the president, foreign minister, they're at the bottom of the pyramid. The higher you go, that's where it is. Ayatollah, IRGC, Judiciary, Assembly of Experts, Supreme Council, all this. They're all above this. These politicians do not have the power to make decisions for the country. It has to be run by the Mouse, whatever that situation is, the IRGC, the hardliners. You think they're just going to sign off on this? There's a process. That's why it takes a while for Iran to respond, because they got to run it through everybody. So you might be talking to somebody and they might to agree to it on paper, but now they got to run it back to the other people and say, okay, this is the off on the table. This is what the United States is willing to do, what we're willing to do. Do you agree? No? It's off. It's crazy. And he just said in his own mouth, you cannot deal with these people in good faith. So if you can't deal with them in good faith, how do you trust the deal with the same people you're just criticizing? It is hypocritical. His own statement is hypocrisy that he just posted a half hour ago. Just think about it. They're playing him again. And now the weekend is coming. So do we see love taps continue tonight? And throughout the weekend, now that the markets will close later on, do we see a resumption of strikes again? I thought we were going to Geneva on Sunday to sign this memorandum of understanding. Well, the That sure changed, because if that was the case, he would have posted about it this morning. The way he responded, it sounds like Iran is not agreeing. And I could read to you what they leaked, and I read it earlier. And he's saying fake news. I don't know about that, who's running with it. Anytime you see anything coming out of the regime, it is propaganda, and they run with it, and you can't. That's why I always say, take it for what it's worth, because this is what they're putting out, which is bullshit. And they're going to spin it to their way. But if you listen to these things that they came out, it's crazy. Let's see if there's anything new before I go there. See, now it's spreading on an Israel media outlet. Trump, the Times of Israel. Trump says terms of deal leaked by dishonorable Iranians are fake news. One, they better get their act together. More of this. They better get their act together. How many times have we heard that? We're back to this. Groundhog Day again. This is what I mean about putting so much thought, emotion, everything involved in this. It will, I'm telling you, it wears you down. It wears you down. So that's all based on his post. Oh, they're just running with this shit now with his post. So again, read it for yourselves. Go look at Truth Social. This was 9:40 a.m. Oh my God, this is a half hour ago. He posted this. The terms that Iran leaked out. Did they? Wait a minute. So they leaked this out to news media outlets. Have nothing to do with the terms. Why? Let's forget about the fake news part, because that's what he loves to use. They leaked out, Iran leaked out, allegedly, the terms to the fake news, because they run with it. Of course, the media is going to run with it. Have nothing to do with the terms that were agreed to in writing. So then show us. Show us what the Iranians leaked out is false and fake. Show us. Show us what the real agreement is then. In writing, on paper. It seems you have it. Expose the Iranians for being the liars they are. Why not? No? Wouldn't that help sway public opinion, especially here in the United States, where you need it? Common sense. But I don't think we're dealing with common sense issues here right now, to be honest. Because it could be as easy as that. All right, Iran is putting out allegedly fake information about the deal. Here is the actual agreement of a memorandum of understanding that they agreed to. Put the pressure on Iran. Put it in their court. Put the pressure on them for being the liars they are. Or are they? Someone's lying. And then very dishonorable people to deal with. If just let that soak in. Very dishonorable people to deal with, but yet you're willing to beg for a deal with these dishonorable people. With them, there is no such thing that's definitive. There is no such thing as dealing a deal in good faith. So if that's the case, why are you trying? If you've exhausted it and you know that there's no way to deal with them in good faith, there is no dealing with them. He says it. There's no way. They're very dishonorable. So why are you still trying? Do you know that if you even get into an agreement, it's not going to stick because they're going to screw you down the line anyway and say, no deal, we're not signing the final deal. Does he not understand this? So this is what I mean. Groundhog Day. They better get their act together and fast. We've heard that before. So here we are on a Friday. Markets close. Do we see Love Tap number 59 tonight? Do you guys feel as frustrated as I do? And again, don't think politically. Do not think politically, because that can definitely sway the way you look at it. What is that?
Oh, shut up.
I'm live. Can you go to the other room, please?
Okay, I am
All right, see you later. Let me mute because she has to get out of the room because I can't have that in the background. She's actually answering messages.
My sister's sick.
Okay, go call your sister in the other room, please.
If it's another one.
All right, call them in the other room. I'm live. Anyway, let me see what you guys are saying.
Woo.
Could be a long night. Predictable like a script. I agree, Ghost. So predictable. It's like they know how to yank his chain. You have to think to yourself, who has the psyop edge here? Us or them? They should never be in a position of being in that. No way. Absolutely not. His whole game is the flip. Yep. Could be a long night. Could be. I agree with Ghost. Start sharp. Ghost, you almost made me. Oh my God. I'm not reading what JC wrote. You know, because I don't want to be disrespectful, but you guys can say what you want in chat. I just try to keep it. I have a foul mouth as a New Yorker, but I'm trying to keep it. I'm not sure Trump can accept the fact that Iran does not want to deal with him. Trump does have a reputation of being a good deal maker. He does. In business, I know he's filed for bankruptcy numerous times, but that's part of it. That's something you play that card as a business person. A lot of people get on it, but that's part of it. But I don't want to get into that because he wasn't so nice to the small business owners while building his casinos in Atlantic City. As a New Yorker, I know the whole story. It was all over the place how he shafted them. They tried to sue him. They didn't have the lawyers to spend the money on, so he knew he would outweigh them with his lawyers, his money, and a lot of them never got paid. That's a fact, by the way. He can't make a deal with them when he has made the deal with Adelson, or he'd have to give back hundreds of millions to her. That's a weird take. All right, JC, you have a great weekend. Looking more like 4chan. Oh my gosh, Diesel. Have a great one, JC. Have a great weekend. Yes, 006. Take it with a pile of bullshit. Forget about salt, like Eugene says. Take it with a pile of bullshit. We don't know what the hell's going on. They know what's going on. We don't really know what the hell's going on here. At least the Liga gave us some sort of transparency about what's happening. Not necessarily, Ghost. It is their interpretation of what they agreed to, but that doesn't mean it's true. It's their spin. How much of it is truth? How much of it is lies? You know how that saying goes, somewhere lies in the middle. I'm not sure. I don't know what I can't believe everything I read coming from the propaganda side. But what if it is true? That's the thing. He's saying it's not. So then show us how it's a lie. That's all I say. Show us it's a lie. Show the agreement in writing that the Iranians agreed to sign, that you're saying that they're now changing the game by putting something else out there to the fake news. Well, show us. It ends it right there. You put Iran on the spot for lying about the actual wording of the agreement. Now, we don't know which draft of the agreement because it seems like the text has been changed both sides, back and forth, God only knows how many times. So they could give us a release of something older that we don't even know if that's the real one that exists right now. How do we verify that? So you see what I mean? It's a rabbit hole. If you only spoke about Russia, Putin the same way, well, I don't even want to touch that one. Good morning, caller. My outburst at mom. We go back and forth. We're like friends. She's mom. We love each other and all that, but it's also like the honeymooners. At times. It's getting warm in here again. The weather's going to get nasty here. Potentially, we could have severe weather here today. Yes, because it affects my life every day, and it's Groundhog Day every day. Yes, it affects all our lives. I think somehow, some way, indirectly, directly, might be somebody you know over there or here. Even though the prices came down because of the manipulation of the markets by saying there's a deal to be reached soon. It's controlling the markets. But Iran also knows that. What? Facebook, Instagram, down detector, all down in the UK. Not sure if it's anywhere else. It's not here. I make sure to have enough beers and I gotta restock the apple juice. Yesterday was a little cray-cray for me and Will. Oh my God. Yesterday was not a good thing with the apple juice. Oh my God. But no, let me check. I'm gonna double check that. Let me see if I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna see if everything's working. What did you say? Facebook? Facebook's working here. I can't check the other ones. Wow, it's all down in the UK? I don't know. I'm not seeing any issues for me. To be honest, I'm not. So we'll keep an eye on Truth Social throughout the day, see how he's definitely gonna make comments throughout the day, you know that. Somehow in public. Like if I don't know if he's heading to Mar-a-Lago, they'll catch him on the way to Marine One or whatever. So that is his last post. And that was at 9:40 a.m. Eastern. It's almost an hour ago. Meanwhile, here's the weather with these storms. You can see where the activity really is ramping up right now. So it's Oklahoma southeast going into Arkansas. I mean, right along the border of Texas. Really, I would just call this like the three corners of the state with Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, right in here. And look at these storms here in Tennessee. Holy Christ. Now, we may have severe weather here today if the line develops, which they're predicting it's going to. So that's a whole different ball game now about today. Let's take a look at the radars. So here are those storms in Tennessee, western Tennessee. Let's go over here now. Let's go here. Come on. I mean, it's early in the morning, so this needs to be kept an eye on as daytime heating. These clouds grow in intensity, height. So we have to keep an eye on these storms. And like I said, I definitely got to keep an eye. Alexa, is there a chance of severe weather here today?
There's a heat advisory until 8 p.m. with heat index values around 100 expected. Also, thunderstorms likely this afternoon with highs around 91.
Yeah, we're definitely in a threat. It didn't say it, but I know we are. So this is really pretty much where it is now. But somebody in chat said they're dealing with storms now. Who was that? Let me see. Bad storms here in Michigan last night. Wow, major power outages. Swak lives in Tennessee, so he's dealing with the storms right now. I have to restock. Oh, you too, Tammy? I think the apple juice has been spreading. I tried going on Instagram and Facebook like an hour ago. It was down. Facebook's up for me. I'm a Trump supporter, but these negotiations are making him and us look weak in a time we can't afford to show weakness. I'm with you. And you know something? I respect your honesty on that. It's not, a lot of people can't do that, Thomas. You know that. They just can't. And I have the utmost respect that you can be objective and honest about it. At least honest from your point of position, opinion. So, people are rising up in the UK. I guess their government doesn't want the outside world to find out. Man, that's crazy stuff, boy. So Dave said Facebook is working for him okay in the UK. Germany's Facebook is also down. So it looks like there's spotty outages in different countries. Okay, hold on. I just got an important message. Hold on. This is for tonight, probably. I saw your message, KJ, just so you know. Okay, did I just download these two files? I have to do something quick. And I definitely got to put the air on. It's getting warm in here. Okay. I could do this in a little while. There's no rush for me to do this right now. I have plenty of time. Actually, I do not. And I closed the freaking window. Give me a moment. Oh, now I gotta redo the whole thing. I should call her. Give me 1 second. This is work-related kind of deal. I gotta look at how she worded it. I need to put this freaking air on. It's getting hot in here really quick. This review. I made my own. Now I'm gonna fix it to what she wants. Perfect. And then I gotta make a phone call. Just give me 1 second, everybody. Talk amongst yourselves. Because this is very important. I can't believe already. Now remember, today's what, the 12th? The president's birthday is Sunday, isn't it? Isn't the UFC thing on Sunday? There's a lot going on. Now I can't see chat right now, but I'm just thinking about that. It's going to be an interesting weekend. On many levels. They're not going to postpone that UFC. Okay, 1, 2. I got to call my boss. I volunteer, so it's not like... Oh. Nothing without permission. I can still set it up.
Hey, Bill.
A quick question: Do you want me? Do you want me to only to do the destinations to the MUFON, MUFON Midwest, MUFON?
What, Bill?
Do you want? Do you want me just to do the destinations to the MUFON, YouTube X, and what about MUFON Midwest? Do you want me to do it there too? Destination for Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can put it on our channel too.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
Combination event.
Okay, that's what I want to make clear. All right, I'm gonna set it up, and then I'm gonna send you. You want me to send you the link in Teams? Because I'll email it to Bob. How do you want me to do this?
Yeah, send me the link in Teams and send it to Bob.
Okay. All right. See you tonight.
All right.
Bye. Okay, that solves that. Now I know a way to move forward here. All right, let me just do this. This is important. So definitely add ours. I have to make sure it sets up properly. I have to put the air on. I'm not gonna make it in here. It's probably super humid out here. Let me check. Oh, hell no. I feel it already. Now the sun is coming out, which is only gonna fuel these storms. It's all it's gonna do. Fuel it. Oh my, I gotta put the air. No way am I dealing with this. Wow, what is it? I'm putting the air conditioner, I have to close the door. What is it? Oh, oh. I was talking to my boss. She's a female. Who are you? Buddy, can you talk to me in English? You're doing this a lot. I don't know now. Go relax. Oh, why is this not working? I'm having a problem with setting Facebook as a destination though. Looks like there is issues with Facebook. It's happening. I'm gonna have to do this tomorrow. I'm gonna remove it. But there does seem I can't add Facebook as a destination right now. Something's up. So whoever said that, it is true. At least for me. Okay, let me put this for her. Okay, now I've got to do an email. Just give me a second. I want to get this done before I forget. Compose. I'll send it to Mark too. I gotta call him. Let me find out. Hey, quick question. So you are in for Sunday night, correct?
Yeah, Bob Screen called me and said it's only for people that saw the movie Disclosure Day.
Are you going to see Disclosure Day?
Not between now and Sunday.
Well, you can still talk. I'm gonna probably go see it tomorrow, but I'm live, so I don't want to talk about it. I'm gonna send you the link on Teams so you have it for Sunday, regardless.
Okay.
Just so you have it.
I thought this was a thing for Dave
I thought it was too, but it's about the movie. All right, let me go because I don't want to get into too many details because we're live. I'm live, but I'll send you the link and call me if anything.
All right, thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Okay, done for now. All right, where was I? Let me see what you guys are saying. All right, we've been hearing a lot of solar flares lately. I'm in Nashville. It's just rain at the moment. We're supposed to get storms later on. Outages. This map also, Faye, shows outages, but I don't know how accurate it is. False flag imminent. Another good resource for system statuses. Yeah, that's what I use, Down Detector. It's bookmarked. It's actually bookmarked. I opened it up to make sure. Yes. There was a spike for them. It shows it. Who put that in chat? Thank you, whoever put that in chat. That's a good thing to have. It is. It's helpful. I was thinking maybe Trump was playing his game again, reset the market and imply the deal was coming, and then over the weekend defend the straight, keep the oil moving while striking. Mark, I'm hoping that's what it is. But isn't it kind of deja vu-ish that we keep going over the same thinking and hoping, like it seems every day for weeks and months? No? It's like Groundhog Day. Yes. Exactly, Diesel. That's exactly. It's market manipulation. Let's go see what WTI is. It's come down quite a bit. It was below 90. Brent crude, trends higher. Wow, look at it. It's down. Look. 86.40, so 86 and change. It's down 1.5%. That is excellent. I'm just saying, that's considering the way things were. Now, this was at 60, 65, so it's still up, but look at that. Look how it's dropped. So, Brent is at even Brent is under 90. Even Brent is under 90. So this is what it's about. It's all about the market manipulation. It just is. The stability of the market. And all that goes to heck if major military operations go and the talks break down or whatever. But I get it. I get what you're saying. Meta site outages in UK and other countries. Let me see if Telegram is saying anything. So, the Times of Israel put this out like 10 minutes ago. The U.S. Iran Mutual of Understanding to include Lebanon in 60-day ceasefire. Netanyahu kept in dark during talks. That's a report coming. Take it for what it's worth. That's coming out of Times of Israel. They just posted what the president posted on Truth Social, but they haven't replied to it. They just, the media on the other side, they just put it. They haven't commented it. They just shared his post on the what he posted on Truth Social. That's it right now. Do you want to read what the alleged fake points were of the deal? Not the deal, the understanding? Wow. Oh, look at this. That's why I said watch out for Israel. Israel's defense minister said he and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had instructed the military to prepare to preserve Israel's ability to act independently against Iran's nuclear program. I told you they may have to act alone. He said that the United States was pursuing an interest with Iran based on American interests, including the shared U.S.-Israeli goal of preventing Tehran from obtaining nuclear weapons. He said Israel expected Washington to uphold that principle, along with restrictions on Iran's missile program and regional proxies. Good luck with that. He added that the joint U.S.-Israeli action had dealt Iran severe blows and set back its capability by years. So they're following along. They're playing along. But they also are stating they may have to act independently. Preserve Israel's ability to act independently against Iran's nuclear program. So they're making that clear. Now, what would that do to the... because you know Iran's going to say Israel cannot do anything. Whether it's in Lebanon or anywhere else. So what happens if Israel decides they see something and they take it out? Does that stop all the talks and a deal is... Just imagine if 2 months from now, a deal is signed between the United States and Iran. But Israel has intelligence that suggests that they're working on a nuclear weapon or on the low or something else. And Israel responds. Iran immediately is going to tear up that agreement and say, look, Israel violated this part of it, even though it's between them two. But this is not going to resolve, is what I'm saying. This is not going to resolve itself. It's just not. Because some shit's going to hit the fan and just throw it all away in the garbage can anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's moot. It's a waste of time. It really is a waste of time. Sadly, it seems... What? Sadly, seems to be becoming where Trump's bigger threats turn out to be empty, and Iran is clearly seeing take advantage of this. Yes, they are. Stocks, oil, and SpaceX. And a birthday party. The link is an article about the outages of Meta. Yes, that one above. Down detector. At some point, Trump needs to look past markets and everything else and just get this done. I agree. So where Israel stated they aren't part of the... Yes, I just read that. What's up, Brian? I feel great. I slept good. I'm all healed and better. Did I have my coffee? Yes. I may need more. Actually, it's really hot outside again, and we may have severe weather. So I'm gonna go out in the cloudy day so it's hot and enjoy the swimming pool for a little while before the cray hits. I'm gonna check the radar. See, like right now, it's cloudy here. But I'm concerned about this line that's coming later on. So you see how it's cloudy all up in here? But see how it's clearing up? The sun is going to come out later for us here. But then that's only going to fuel the storm's development here. This is what I'm looking out for later. This line developing and hitting us in the afternoon sometime. This development right here. Because you can see it stretches all the way down to Texas, Arkansas, and throughout Tennessee, upward. So I'm keeping an eye on this today. And this could even develop into something. But it's this line. That's going to affect me later. Possibly. See, it's not there yet, but it looks like it'll fill in and develop. See? If I go to the future radar, you could see the line, and this only goes so far. I have to keep out for a line that's going to develop here and make its way east, northeast, and affect us all here. If it happens. Got to keep an eye. So you folks should watch out for your weather too if you're in the path of maybe these storms. Watching the yellow banana in the Western Gulf through models not currently showing much development other than heavy rains. Let me check the future model with the Euro. Let's take a look at it. Still got that Gulf moisture coming up. It's pumping right into Texas. And here's this low pressure. There's going to be nasty weather in here tomorrow. You've got this low bringing down the winds from the north, and then they spin around to the west. Gulf moisture here. This is a recipe tomorrow. Not so much for us, it pushes offshore. There's actually a low pressure here. Luckily, we'll have to see that it looks like it's not going to develop and go into the Gulf. Not saying a hurricane, not saying a tropical storm, just saying this could bring nasty weather. But no, I didn't think it was going to happen. Not too much. Look how unsettled it is here. Sunday. Monday. Well, this is good. This is not as strong, so unsettled. It's summertime. It happens. Again, not bad. Typical. Nothing cray-cray. Another low pressure up here in Canada. Now the Gulf moisture, looks like there's a high pressure maybe developing here, bringing up this Gulf the moisture again, but it doesn't look to be too crazy yet. Meanwhile, this is going out in Canada, British Columbia. Again, unsettled. This machine is turning on. The Gulf moisture machine. Winds out of the west, low pressure here, storminess to develop again, like possibly severe. When you see this setup, that's Wednesday next week, and I'm only going to Friday. Look at that. Look at this high pressure. Look at this flow. Wow. Look at that. That is cray cray. It's definitely going to warm up here. Look at that flow. Next week. And I'm going to Friday and I'm stopping. So yeah. We shall see. Let me see what Iran International is saying. Yeah, we read that already. Look at that. Somebody was talking about the market. Look at that. As hopes for an imminent peace deal with Iran lifted investor sentiment, with the Dow Industrial Average up 300 points. So, yeah, this is market manipulation complete. That shows you. All because of the deal, imminent deal. It doesn't look so imminent right now, to be honest. Iran has agreed to a performance-based deal requiring it to what does that mean? Performance-based deal. So we give them things as they prove that they're going to comply. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Performance-based. Sanction relief? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Destroying and removing nuclear material and stop funding proxy groups. Good luck with that. This is not going to happen. Before receiving sanctions relief, Fox News reported, citing a White House officials. Oh, come on. No Iranian funds will be released until Tehran fulfills its commitment to the nuclear and stop funding the proxies. That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. If Iran agrees to that, I'd be shocked. This is what he's saying. Now again, if this is true, show us, prove us, show us the agreement that Iran is lying with their leak, that it has no relation to the agreement. It's a lie, the things that they came out with. Show us. Show us that Iran is lying. That would be great. Show them how, expose them. Show them how they're lying. Or release what we... Forget about talking about Iran. What is our position? Show the American people and the world our position in this agreement. Contradict what the Iranians are saying. No? Maybe? Another great site for all things weather. Thank you, Diesel. 20% development. I know, Marianne. I do. I go out there and I escape everything. It's amazing. I'm able to block it all out, listen to the music, enjoy the outdoors, whatever. I totally zone out from all this. I close myself off from it all. I like that, Diesel. I'm actually going to save these sites that you're putting in there because it adds for my weather modeling when I do weather. Because when there's stuff like... Oh, that's... Okay, so that's NOAA. That looks more like a NOAA setup. I'm going to bookmark it anyway. It's not even 11 a.m. It's early. So we'll see how this goes. Let me check Telegram. Telegram is oddly quiet. Very quiet. To the ones I follow. I think right now a lot of them are waiting for the true Iranian response if they're going to agree to meet to sign the memorandum of understanding. Uh-oh. What's happening?
You, me, and Race need to do our own analysis of the movie in the next week.
Yeah, I was going to go. I'm not going to go today because it's first of all, I got severe weather coming, and then we got to do our thing later. I may go tomorrow in the evening to watch it, to see it,
I'm going tomorrow.
because the nearest theater near me is like 30-40 minutes away. So
Oh, you're kidding.
yeah, they closed the one that was local last year. So I'm gonna make an effort, but I want to see it. I definitely want to see it.
Yeah.
So probably tomorrow. It depends if that show goes live. If it doesn't, then I'm going tomorrow night or afternoon. Depends on the scheduling.
Okay.
But yes, but I sent you the link. I mailed the link to Bob too. So it looks like we're set.
Sounds good.
Are we doing 1 hour for you tonight?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So keep me hit me up if you need me. Otherwise, I'll see you tonight.
Okay.
Bye. I'll go see the movie tomorrow. In the afternoon, day of disclosure day, whatever. You will see me do a live stream quickly from the theater tomorrow. Matter of fact, I don't like going to the theater on the weekends though, because it's packed. I don't know how many people though are going to see Disclosure Day. I think a lot of them might be going to see Masters of the Universe and some of the other films that are out. I don't know so much about Disclosure Day being a big draw. I don't know. Just saying. It may not be. I would have went today, but I don't feel like driving in the potential severe weather. Plus, I need to be here if severe weather breaks out, because power might go out. I have to put the generator on and all that stuff. So, plus I got stuff to do by 5:30, so I don't have a big window to go today. The Bishop is live tonight. He's going to be talking about Disclosure. So I'm a little busy today, but I have to drive 30 or 40 minutes to go to a movie theater. Isn't that pathetic? So it's like an hour and a half of my day just to drive to go to see a movie. That's pathetic. I want to see the schedules for tomorrow though. Because it's supposed to be beautiful tomorrow. 90, no rain. I'm enjoying the pool again. So I'm not going to go to the evening like I just spoke with her about. Disclosure Day. Wow, they're showing it at like every freaking time. They must be showing it in multiple theaters. Oh my God. For tomorrow, 10 a.m. I might go, no. How long is this movie? 2.5 hours. There's like a showing every half hour. Alexa, what's the weather for tomorrow?
Tomorrow's looking pretty sweet. High of 87, low of 61. Mostly sunny with just a 5% chance of rain.
It's gonna be gorgeous tomorrow. The first showing is at 10 a.m. So that means I wouldn't get home till 1. At the earliest. I would have to leave here at 9? I don't know about that. There's a showing at... See, when I'm in the pool, I get tired. I want to just, like, crash after the pool from being in the heat. It's not a good idea. I may just go for it. There won't be hardly anybody in there at 10 a.m. That's the one thing I love. So I might just do it tomorrow morning. Leave at 9. Go to bed reasonably early tonight. There's a 10:30 too. See, I want to be able to come home and then go in the pool. Get the best of both. 1 o'clock is a good time to go in there. So yeah, I'll probably end up going to the movie theater tomorrow morning. No apple juice tonight. That's for sure. There will be no apple juice tonight. I need an apple juice break. I'm sure Will does too. Have German channel Iran will attack. Oh God, I don't know about that helmet. There's no much aliens in it. It's almost, I'm gonna go because of a personal interest to see it, but it's also work related. It's an assignment. I just spoke with her about it. It's like it's like an assignment. I must see the movie. Regardless. Before Monday. So it's not just because I want to see it. It's because it's also related to work. Yeah, dude. Will, no apple juice, bro. Eugene, poor Eugene. I never say never, bro. Never. Did I just say never on something? I would never say never. That's too definitive. You always got to leave a window open, even if it's a crack. I would never say never. If I just said never, it doesn't matter. I still have to see it, Eugene. It's like I said. It's not. It's also work related. Yeah, how are we all feeling? How you feeling this morning, Eugene? Tell us how you really feel. Oh my God, Eugene, a deal is last night supposed to be signed in Geneva on Sunday, and now the president's saying you can't trust them. All this in a post about an hour and a half ago. So now it's changed. So God only knows what's going to happen. Tonight might be love tap night. But it won't happen till after the markets close. Remember, the UFC is Sunday, isn't it? That's another thing. Birthday. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine what the security is going to be like. There better be. There better be. Especially for the president. There better be. You're definitely not feeling 100%? It's amazing how I rebounded after yesterday, Will. Just saying. Not too bad. Oh, that's what I want to see. I'm either going to grill today. Pizza might be an option. Thunderstorms possible this afternoon. See? Yeah, he said they better get their act together on a deal. Now's a good time to fill up. Prices are down. Now's a good time to fill up because you never know. If shit hits the fan, it's going to go right back up. So now's a good time to get gas and fill up some 5-gallon containers. I got to do that for my mowing. I'm going to do that later. It's not a bad idea. One of my rings is out. I'm not looking for that though. I'm looking for the letter Q. Because I get points in this local gas station. Every 1,500 points I get a big foot-long sub for free. I don't think I'm there though. They make you earn it, like really earn it. Yeah, let's see how many points I have. I know I'm not close. 960. Not there. Oh my God. Let's see. Yeah, no wonder, right? You don't even know how many he had yesterday. Tammy. Both of us. We exceeded. Another analogy that makes no sense, shit hitting fan. When has ever shit hit the fan and why? It's just a saying, Eugene. It's a figurative saying, figurative speech. Do you like crowfish boil? Craw? You mean crawfish? I've actually never tried it. Like down south? I've never tried that. Like Louisiana style or something like that? I've never tried that. Is that what you're talking about, Tony? I've never had that. I'm not having any more coffee either. I'm hearing a lot of traffic in the house. I'm just seeing if there's any other stuff coming out. No. Okay, let's see if anything's coming out on Telegram. Wait a minute. Arachi, the president of Iran, just released this. The Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding has never been closer. Pending its finalization, the media should refrain from entering speculation about its content. In line with our responsible and transparent approach, all details will be shared with the public in due course. What the fuck is that? And they're saying now, the other side, they're going to make a deal. Shame, America will never abide. They're saying America will never abide. We're saying they won't abide. Let's hope the terms are good at least. This is what the other side is saying. Middle East Spectator. One of the worst parts of this is that Iran's parliament is closed due to the war. So the parliament cannot even voice opposition to the MOU or draft a motion to dismiss it. One of the worst parts of this, I read that similarly, many other important matters like leaving the NPT, officially establishing control over the Strait of Hormuz, or the impeachment of officials have not been brought to a vote due to the parliament being closed. So I don't know. In an attempt, this is what Israel is putting out. Media. In an attempt of damage control, U.S. sanctions relief for Iran is performance-based. So they don't want to appear like the United States is caving in. So it's performance-based, and then sanctions will start to get lifted, frozen assets for Iran, depending on how they cooperate and in the negotiations, and they comply with the uranium and everything else. If they keep their word, they get sanction relief or money. It's performing enhancing. They're rewarding them for a... This is crazy. This is crazy.
What I'm going to show you is crazy.
What happened, Ma?
We got 3 cats now.
Uh-huh.
3 brownies.
They're all in front?
Yeah, I want you to see them.
I see them all the time.
And now it's Blackie. That's it.
Okay. You should stay in this room and lay down in the air if it's too hot over there.
Not me.
Okay, close the door so I can stay cool in here.
I can't believe that now we have 3 brownies.
She closed it. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now. Yeah. Okay, hold on. That's why they call them mud bugs. I've made myself sick eating them, and it's not something I seek out. I only for sport because they are orange. What the hell are you guys talking about in the chat? Yeah, it seems to be a thing in America. I see on Progress. I watch, catch, and cook. Crawfish are definitely too much work for such a little bit of meat. Oh my God. They type everything into Google Translate and never check their work. More than anyone in Iran. That crayfish bag boil stuff that people eat is as rude as it gets. No, thank you. I don't want to hear Trump ever say anything about the Obama deal again. How many millions and billions he's about to give them. We don't know that. We have to see how this plays out. Mr. Beast just hit 500 million subscribers. Who the hell is that? Mr. Beast. I don't even know who that is. So I'm not. You have to familiar because I'm assuming I'm not one of those 500 million subscribers. And to me, subscribers, I mean, people have their following. That's what they do for like a life job. And a lot of it is clickbait. Who I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to. Who is Mr. Beast? My mom has been living with me. I hear you. I hear you. You are the light of the world, folks. Oh, now I get you, Eugene, who you're referring to as far as being unalived. I get you now. There's a bunch of them. It's not just him. Oh, he's for kids. Hello. Delicious put. Man, you guys are talking about food like this early in the morning. He gives millions of dollars to people. Okay. I have no idea who this person is. Stomach turning, Jason? Again, what was said now could flip later. God only knows. He might just be saying that because he knows a deal is close, and then flip it like somehow and say, look, they came to a deal, they better get their act together, knowing that a deal is possible. And he's saying that just to make it look like he said that, so it appears later when he says a deal. See, I don't know. I don't want to try to get into somebody's head. No. Oh my God. See, now it's going back and forth. Now it's going back and forth again. Now Vance said something. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance said reports about a potential deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and end Iran's nuclear weapons program contained a lot of fake information, insisting Tehran would receive no cash simply for signing an agreement. Oh, or attending talks. Oh, so not either when they attend the talks either? There's not going to be, if they comply, or they're not going to get relief? During the talks, only once a deal is signed? At some point, months from now? In a post on X, Vance said no Iranian funds will be released upfront and that any economic benefits would depend on the Islamic Republic meeting its obligations under the deal. What deal? There's no deal yet. The deal would be 2 months from now, 3 months from now, as they negotiate a final deal, which Iran will never agree to at the end. They're hallucinating. You know that, right? They're delusional. He said the agreement was structured to prioritize the concerns of the United States and its allies while offering economic benefits to Iran and the wider region only if Tehran complies. This has to be totally about the nuclear. The deal has the potential to remake the region and lead to lasting peace. How? How? If the regime stays in power, how does this lead to lasting peace for the region? Especially from Israel's perspective. How? How does this change anything that was existing before this started? How? Somebody explain this to me. Because of the nuclear? He criticized those attacking the possible agreement based on unconfirmed reports. We don't know. Why don't you tell us? Why don't you show us? Unconfirmed reports, as well as people who distrust the IRGC but appear willing to believe anonymously sourced claims on social media. Vance said President Donald Trump would secure a good outcome one way or another. Here we go with that one way or another thing. What does that mean? Deal or no deal? Military or no military? Now look what Lindsay said a few minutes ago. What the hell is going on? Graham rejects $300 billion Iran reconstruction fund. What? This has to be part of the fake news. Urges no enrichment in deal. Reconstruction fund for Iran on any potential deal, saying such support would be tone deaf with the Islamic Republic remains in power. Exactly. This is the key. He knows it. At least he knows it. They stay in power. How does that help create peace in the region long term? The regime stays in power. He's very glad to hear from President Donald Trump after saying that the media reports about the terms of the possible deal were false. Any agreement must be vastly different from the Obama deal. Graham said providing reconstruction money to Iran would be like offering the Marshall Plan to Germany. We cannot give them any money like that. That's reconstruction money? Are you crazy? Adding that any fund benefiting the Iranian government would not be a good idea right now. He also said Trump's red line of no uranium enrichment must hold, arguing that allowing Iran to enrich under the JCPOA was one of the deal's major flaws. Graham added that any agreement with Iran must be submitted to Congress for scrutiny and approval. Oh, that's a big boy. That's a big one. Now, what does that mean? That has implications right there. Just that language. Why? Why is that important, what was just said by him at the end? Anybody want to try to put their 2 cents into it? These are the days of our lives. The times of the hourglass thing. Oh my God. As the world told, it was days of our lives with the hourglass. And these are the days of our lives. Something like that. Talking out both sides of the mouth by originally saying they never get any money and then they'll get money once a deal is signed seems like being used as a carrot on a stick to get them to sign. Sign a memorandum of understanding to negotiate specific terms to get to a potential deal months from now. Remember that. This is not a deal. This is an agreement to meet, to negotiate, to work on areas for a deal. Do you think that deal will ever happen at the end? Honestly, Iran is going to buy their time and say, okay, we're going to sign it. We agree we're going to talk, because then it opens up the strait, money starts flowing. Now, is Iranian assets frozen, unfrozen? Are they going to be allowed to sell their oil on the market, get money? I mean, there's a lot of details here we don't know. But it's going to be ka-ching. Banks are open, money starts flowing, oil revenue starts coming back. Iran saying, whippy! So much for our economy blocking. Oh my God. Do they not know they're getting played? They're getting played. If they sign this deal, they're getting played. Do we not know that? Iran is not, at the end of the day, going to agree to anything. This is a time play. This is a ploy to delay. Now, here's the scary part. You want to hear the scary part? What he just said. Now, it wouldn't happen to January, so you got time. But do you think if it went to congressional approval, they better get this shit done fast? Because if the House flips in November, you've got till January. The clock is ticking. Because you know the Democrats are never going to sign off on any agreement and approve. Just for the sake of. So the clock is ticking. If Graham made that reference about congressional approval, you better get that shit done as soon as possible now. Because you cannot count on November midterms, which means January, if it flips. So the clock is ticking. You better get this shit done and get congressional approval now while you got control. That is important to keep an eye on that. That's why I said that last line is important. Even if they agree to it, when have they ever kept their word? Exactly. Never. Graham will never let it through the Senate. But he's just one. I mean, you know the Democrats are going to vote against it no matter what. But if he just doesn't do it, I mean, I don't know how the others would look at it. Because you still have majority in the Senate. The Republicans still have a majority in the Senate. So if he was to be one that doesn't agree, it still passes. And if it's a tie, Vance decides the tiebreaker. So I don't know. Kava, I said that earlier. Watch out that Israel does not do something unilaterally themselves. I don't know if that's a smart move. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. They will be on their own because the president is counting on this deal with Iran and he's not going to have anything jeopardize it. So again, this is between the United States and Iran. Israel is its own entity. How this affects Lebanon and Israel, I don't know. Don't know. So I don't know. Let's just see. I actually, like I said, I hope that when this memorandum of agreement is signed, that they put out publicly what was part of the agreement, the terms of the agreement. Because that's now going to go into the negotiation stage. At least tell us, be transparent. If you sign it, show us what you signed. I think the taxpayers, the American people, deserve at least that much. What did you sign to? What did you agree to? To meet, to negotiate. What are the terms of the memorandum of understanding to go negotiate now? I think we should know that. No? I thought Grassi was, Eugene. Isn't Grassi, or did he step down? I think he stepped down, right? I haven't been keeping track on all that. I would have to look that up. I was listening to an Israeli podcast the other day, and many people in Israel are starting to view Trump as a traitor. I wonder how the Iranian people feel about this. Remember, you are legitimizing the regime with a deal. Because there you're working with them. So you can forget about true regime change in Iran. You could forget about the people of Iran rising up right now. It would be not a wise decision. Unless there's something going on that they're armed to the teeth to face the IRGC and all the other forces in Iran. But this does not bode well for the Iranian people that wanted regime change, true regime change. It's not looking good for the Iranian people. I have to be honest. So I don't know how this made that better. And you know what else? Those Iranians that thought we were going to come to their rescue, literally, like supplying and helping make the possibility of them taking to the streets to at least give them that opportunity, are now going to feel betrayed by the United States and the President of the United States. So now you just don't have the regime supporters against you. You got a lot of Iranians that are like, what happened? Frustrated. What? I thought help was on the way. Well, we helped you. We decimated a lot of their military assets. But I think, like, Israel knew what the objective was, absolute regime change, to get rid of it so that the people of Iran actually had an opportunity to take back their country. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. As sad as that is. Right now, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. It could change. Right now, I can't say that. That's sad, because that's the whole point I got involved too. When the thousands of people, before, but then it happened when tens of thousands and all the other stuff going on, and it's like regime change, not technical regime change, but true regime change. Do you see any changes in Iran? What, the mouse is gone? Wow, big deal. They got another cardboard mouse, and if that mouse doesn't exist, they'll fill it in another cardboard or mouse. They just replace. They got plenty of hardliners and clerics and mullahs. The Assembly of Experts will assign someone that the IRGC approves to be the next mouse. What does that change? Nothing. Technically a figurehead, it changes nothing. The regime is still intact. Good morning, Fringe. So I don't know. I really don't. Let me see what you guys are writing. Right. So you're pretty... Exactly. So you really promise not to enrich uranium? You promise? You promise to hand it over? Or are we... Keep an eye out for this one. Are we going to agree for them to mix it down? Watch for that one. Are we going to agree to mix it down? I see teeth and eyes. I am getting dark. Oh, we need to see the terms here. Imagine the book Trump will write on the art of the deal with Iran. Would be pretty interesting read. It might be more fiction than... I hate to say it. I agree, Bill. At a minimum, U.S. should show the public high-level details of the agreement so that there's not much speculation, false info, etc. Yes, be truly transparent as you promised. Be truly transparent as promised. But Bill, how, if an uprising is ready to go, how does making a deal with them help that in any way? It doesn't. It actually diminishes that. That's what I'm saying. The Iranian people will suffer. A deal legitimizes the regime moving forward, and you're going to have to deal with this regime moving forward. The regime doesn't change. The people want regime change. Maybe at some point it'll happen in the future some other way, but right now it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Reza Pahlavi it's not happening. Do you see Reza Pahlavi control as a interim government leader right now? How does that look right now? Not good, right? We're in too far to turn the boats back. No damn way we're done. I don't think the boats are going to go anywhere. Our posture is not going to change. Because things can change. That would be absolute foolish to withdraw our troops and our boats. That would be absolutely foolish. I don't think you're going to see that change. They might lift the blockade, but they're not going anywhere. Eugene. Oh my God. Look up who owns the uranium enrichment facilities. It's not Iran. You missed my comments. Dandy, what's up? I said this conflict is making America look like Russia when they got owned by Japan. Oh my God. I also said I've lost all hope for the Iranian people. That's sad, isn't it? That's the tragedy in all this. That is. Nothing's changing. And like I said, those people will now say we can never trust the United States. So we made it worse inside Iran. Those that thought that they can depend on us to help pave the way for their freedom, they are more than willing to take to the streets themselves. They're not asking for us to put boots on the ground. All they were asking for is to give us the opportunity to do it ourselves. That doesn't look likely now. You know, if you would have went after the ceasefire was a big mistake. Big mistake. Strategically a blunder like I've never seen. So here we are. And Iran had time to survive. Despite the economic pressure on them, which is enormous, still, they survive. That's bad. And the Iranian people are going to suffer because of it. But remember, the conditions in Iran are, critical. They were bad before this started. They're way worse now for the people. The infrastructure, the water, the food, the economy, jobs, working, employment, inflation, currency devaluation. They're in big trouble. And they know this. So the people are still going to suffer regardless of the outcome of whatever happens here. And I don't know how that's going to change. Is Iran going to start making money and start providing it to the people on the ground and actually do humanitarian aid and infrastructure aid within their own country so they can now get the people behind them? Look, we're going to invest in you. We're going to help you. Do they do other things to lessen up maybe restrictions to make it look like they're not such a bad regime after all? You know they can do that psyop thing in Iran themselves. I just don't see how this is going to turn out good. What? Trump called Starmer a smart guy. What do you mean? Oh, you said watch him call him a great guy. There should have been an increased fire. Nothing will improve because of the greed and corruption, and as long as humans are around, this will be sustained. It's always... What is it always about, though? It always comes down to that. Money. What is at stake right now? Money. Oil. The Strait. That's what this is all about. Money. See, it's not about people. Well, it is, because it affects people. It's about money. It's always about money. Somehow it always comes back down to money. And like you said, greed, power, all that we usually hear. It always comes down to that. Because that's what this is about. I keep saying it. If the strait was open right now and the United States had control of the strait, would we even be having this discussion right now about deals, no deals? No, because Iran would have no cards left. As what I know, that we wouldn't even be talking about a deal because a deal wouldn't even be necessary. Because the deal is all structured about getting the strait open. That's the main emphasis here. Open up the strait. Open up the strait. Open up the strait. That's what this is about. Can you imagine? The terms are the strait will be opened, the blockade will be lifted, then we'll go and talk about stuff. So what is it about? It's about getting the strait open. Crazy that we got to this point. Crazy. Yeah, definitely lining their pockets, for sure. DLD. It's an interesting point that you bring up because that's been talked about for a long time, decades actually, about a false flag alien invasion so that the elite globalists could somehow create a united front against a common enemy, like an extraterrestrial invasion. That's been talked about for decades as a false flag. Just saying. So, to touch on what you just mentioned. Yes, that's true. It's always like, seems like it's close to the weekend, a deal is coming, blah, 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 for the markets. Yeah, that is crazy about Starmer's position with Ukraine. Trump has announced victory 40 times and a deal 12 times. Approximately everything Trump says is false. What a guy. See, now what Kava's saying, and Kava is in Iran. Look what the sentiment is coming from Iran. Can you imagine what the Iranian people, like him, are thinking right now, whether they're internally in the country or externally in the country? That is important to get the pulse on that. Like I said, those people, you got to remember, they were cheering Trump's name. They were putting his name on placards, putting them on walls, writing his name on walls. They just turned on you. And that means they turned on the United States. Is that good? Explain to me how that's good. This is bad in so many ways that people just don't realize it. On the surface, this is going to, the possible ramifications are going to be felt for a long time. And God forbid what a future administration, how they handle a situation in the future dealing with Iran. That concerns me even more. Moving forward, what happens 2 years from now? Is it Rubio? Is it somebody else? Depends. So to say that this is going to be different from Obama and Biden and all the others, how? How is this different? 40, $50 billion later, 15 people lost their lives, bases destroyed or hit. A deal? What deal? This deal better be better than the JCPOA that Obama did. It better be. They're going to spin it that it is, but the facts will play itself out. This better be a better deal. Because if all this was for a worse deal and everything that just happened, this is an absolute shit show like I've never seen. It better be better. Did you see the aerial footage of it's abandoned, but did you see the aerial footage of the 5th Fleet location in Bahrain? It's like leveled. Are we rebuilding that base? How much is it going to cost to rebuild that base? How much is it going to cost to rebuild other bases that were hit? How much is it going to cost to replace the stockpile that was used? And how long is that going to take? Are we considering maybe that we need to worry about Taiwan? I mean, is this about Cuba? What is this really about? Is it about the economy? Yes. Getting control of the markets again? Yes. Alexa, turn on living room light.
Over there got hurt.
Okay.
She got hurt. Alexa, shut living room light. I'm blind. I'm coming. What happened?
I gotta get out of here.
What happened?
Okay.
It's too cold in here.
It's beautifully cold in here, but how'd you get hurt?
Huh?
How did you get hurt?
No, when I got off the chair outside.
You might have pulled something.
No, I scraped it.
Oh, I thought you got hurt in another way, like a muscle or something.
No,
Alexa, turn off living room light. I am going
Okay.
to shut that off. It is cold in here for now.
oh, it's
It is cold in here. But it's going to heat right up with that sun. Oh. Oh. Again, until we see the agreement, we can just speculate. I would say I would rather be an optimist and hope for the best, but also prepare for the worst. I hope for the best outcome, but I'm also prepared for the worst. We're just going to have to wait and see, everybody. I'm getting ready to go in the pool for a little while before the storms come. But I want to thank Marianne and some of the others, Kevin and a lot of you that had posted comments in the chat. I did see, I mean, not in the chat, comments in the stream to keep me abreast of what's going on. Because I do see them. But yesterday, I didn't want to ruin my mood of apple juice in the pool when people were saying, he doesn't even know what's going on right now. The president just said there's a deal. I saw it. I wasn't going to let that, disrupt my good mood, so to speak. I wasn't going to let it get in the way. That's why I just kept on going last night with apple juice and hanging out, music and all that, because I was not going to let that get to me. Today's a different day. Now, I am going to go in the pool, relax for a little while, come out, check on the latest updates about what the hell is going on here. I'm sure there'll be more. I truly want to see the Iranian response true. Like, I don't know how we will, because can't trust anything. But it'd be interesting to see if they agree to sign this deal. I mean, oh my God. Here we go, look. A few minutes ago. U.S. Iran offer conflicting accounts of deal terms. Look at this. Iran has agreed to a performance-based deal. And I read this earlier, this 14-point draft, but they're saying it's fake. At least the president said it's fake. I can't stream. I'm going to get off soon because there's too much going on here.
soda. Is it yours?
Where'd you find that soda?
On top of the table down there.
No, then it's not mine. If it's in the other room, it's not mine.
So this is not mine.
That's yours.
It's not mine.
Where did you find it?
On the table over here.
Yeah, it's.
This is not my soda.
I don't leave soda there.
And I don't need.
Give it to me. Give me that one.
Come on.
This is probably the one. There's another bottle here. I don't know what this one is. Oh no, this is old. This was the one that was in the refrigerator. This is not mine. You could drink this one. This is not mine. Well then dump it out because I don't know. This is your soda. Here, look. Right here, open. Right here. Dump this one out. Dump it out. Dump that one out. Your soda's on the table. Yeah, he said they reached a great deal. United States got everything it wanted. Really? Did we get everything we wanted? That's to be seen. So who got it? Look at this. It's back and forth again. Even now. I'm telling you, it's exhausting. Initial report IDF sirens regarding a hostile aircraft infiltration was sounded in several areas in northern Israel. The details are under review. All right, this is coming from Middle East Spectator. Most of all, I'm worried about the effects of a bad deal on the Islamic Republic's core supporter base. It risks alienating those who spent 100+ nights on the streets in support of their government and their leader. Because it's going to appear to them as being weak dealing with the United States, if it's a bad deal for them. I have much more to say, but all we can do now is wait to see if there really will be a deal and what exactly are the terms. Although in my opinion, the terms are irrelevant because America will violate them no matter what. Oh, really? And Iran won't? Look at the mistrust on both sides. When you have so much mistrust on both sides, how can you rationally think a deal will stick? It's a matter of time that it collapses. There's so much mistrust on both sides. This is not rational. It doesn't make sense. This is not rational. A deal. It's just not rational. I don't get it. Yes, the end game bill is to remove the regime because it's been holding its people hostage. But if you agree to a deal, the regime doesn't change. They stay. That's the problem. So I hope, I don't understand it, but let's see. The biggest loss to all of this is our reputation. We look weak and pathetic and gave everyone a blueprint to defeat us. I would say that it depends. We don't know what the terms of a so-called deal are. We just don't. The president does appear to look weak right now to many around the world. There's no doubt about that. The Russians are paying attention. China's paying attention. All our adversaries are paying attention. But appearances don't dictate the truth of the matter. We must wait and see how this plays out, the end game. It's as simple as that. Appearances, it's like a book of a cover. It doesn't necessarily, it may look a certain way, but that doesn't mean the context is what it is. We don't know the facts. We're not in the inner rooms when these negotiations are going on. We're not there when they're negotiating back and forth through mediators what the exact terms of this agreement are. Until we see that for ourselves, and that's why I said they need to be transparent. If it's signed, then you show the American people, you show the world, whatever, what they are agreeing to meet, to negotiate about. Then we can be critical or non-critical, and Trump supporters love it, the Democrats hate it. You know how that goes. It's politics. But until we see the true details of any such agreement and it's finalized, to meet, to negotiate. Remember, this is not a deal. This is just to negotiate, to make a deal in the future. Until we see it, you're going to see propaganda spin all over the place. We don't know what the facts are. Based on appearance, I mean, it is one thing, but we don't know. We just don't. And until that happens, you know, everybody's opinion is like, you know what they say about opinions. We all have one. We just don't know. So I would say, let's just see. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see what the memorandum of understanding is, the details on it. Because Iran put on a 14-point plan. The president said that's fake. Even the president of Iran put out a statement saying, ignore the stuff that's going on in social media. We're actually close to an agreement. Now, is he saying that for other reasons? I don't know. But he put that out there. Even the president of Iran put a post. So there's all kinds of stuff going on. And until we see it, look what the president of Iran put out. Oh God, that's so small. Let me just save the image. And I'll show you. Because I don't feel like going to his account and searching for it. Oh wow, look at those storms developing. Let me get rid of that radar. It's going to be an interesting day later for the weather. Okay. So this is what he put out a little while ago. The president of Iran. The Islamabad, with Pakistan, memorandum of understanding has never been closer. Pending its finalization, the media should refrain from entering speculation about its content. In line with our responsible and transparent approach, all details will be shared with the public in due course. So once it's signed, I guess both sides will talk about it, publish it. Who knows? But we just got to wait and see. I guess that's what we're all waiting for now. Oh, he did post his message on True Social. See, he's sharing it. So it kind of tells me who they're dealing with. Ghalibaf, foreign minister, the president. Who knows? These are the people that they're talking to. But remember, it still has to get approval from the IRGC, the cardboard mouse, the hardliners, judiciary. Let's see. Let's see if it actually happens. Remember, this morning there was talk of this was going to be signed in Geneva on Sunday. I'm not hearing that no more. That was the rumor earlier, but this is, again, all the speculation that's put out there. Propaganda, and people run with it. So, but that's what's put out there. We just don't know. We really don't. I've said it time and time again, Bill. Can't negotiate with terrorists because of their beliefs. They won't submit. I don't understand how we're trusting them in any kind of deal, because I'm telling you, this is their playbook. They're going to agree to this memorandum of understanding, play us for 2 months while the ceasefire goes on, the strait is opened, the blockade is ended, money starts to flow, oil starts to flow, only during the negotiations to say, yeah, we'll agree to this and this and this. Actions speak louder than words. They will never sign a finalized deal in 2 months. Iran will walk away from it, and then what? That's what I think is going to happen. Iran is playing time. And they're going to start getting revenue again. I don't want to hear nothing about frozen assets being released or sanctions being lifted until they comply and show that they can be trusted to do certain things. They're going to have to carry out certain things before that even happens. They're not going to get money up front. All that is nonsense. The point is, Iran is going to play this. Think of the timing. 2 months from now. Not good. They can't be trusted for a deal, any kind of deal whatsoever. Just because Trump is president doesn't make this deal special than any of the others in the past. Just by name. Look at their track record. No. I don't trust this whatsoever. But I'm just one of those people that are not trusting it. I'm sure there are others. And I'm sure there's people that believe in the power of Trump, that this will make a difference. Dealing with Iran. Iran is Iran. Doesn't matter who's in office. Iran is Iran. And they've been doing this for 47 plus years. And you know what else they'll do? They'll wait it out 2 years to see when he's gone, who comes in, They'll play it. They'll play it as long as they can. So we have to be very careful here. But like I said, let's just see what happens. Again, I agree with a lot of what all of you are saying. You are all making valid points. You all are, depending on a person's perspective, opinion. But I think right now, because it seems like it's Groundhog Day for the last few months, let's see if this time, because how many times have we been close to a deal? A great deal. How many times? And how many times it did not happen? Oh, there's going to be a deal. I remember Rubio saying it a few weeks ago. We should have word today or maybe tomorrow, at the latest Monday, about a deal. President, it's few days away for a deal. How many times has that been said now? Groundhog Day deal. Think about it. 30 times? How many times have we heard this before? That's why I'm saying until we see this actually happen, then we can address it. Oh my God, I don't even know how many times, French. A lot. A lot of times. So, with everybody, of course, is speculating this, that, this. I say right now we're at that point. Let's just wait. Let's just wait to see how this plays out again. Because by tonight, it could be a different story. Tonight, he might say, you know what? Because he said in the language earlier today, but that's just what he does. Tonight, we might be hitting them again, for all we know. It was the reverse yesterday, right? We're going to hit Iran tonight, and then we've got a great deal. We're going to sign a great deal. Look how it flipped yesterday. The same could happen today. It could flip the other way. Its own negotiation ploy, psyop, whatever you want to label it as. 40 chess, checkers, who knows? But again, I think right now we have to wait and see. Actually, Obama didn't send them billions of dollars. That was their frozen money assets. That the same talk that the president is going to do himself too if they comply, to be fair. It might even be worth a lot more than the Obama money. A lot more is at stake here. That could be potentially released to Iran if they comply. You're talking billions and billions. It's going to make Obama look like small change. But they must comply. Sanction relief, frozen assets released. They could actually gain a lot more than Obama, Biden, all of them combined, if they carry out what the United States wants them to do. But that's the nugget. That's the carrot they're throwing out. You will get all this back if you do this. That's what this is about. They're going to get a ton of money. Billions. Billions. It's going to make the Obama plane loads look like cents. Potentially. But we don't know. This is what's being said. That's why the United States keeps saying, they keep coming out. Even Vance said it today. It's going to be production based on Iran. So that means it is on the table. It is on the table. And you're right, big if. Do you think Iran at the end of the day is going to play ball? Once their oil revenue starts again, they start getting that money again with the Strait Open, do you think they're going to play ball? No. No. That's what I'm saying. So all this is bullshit. It is a potential super power pipe dream that you think you're going to get them. Once they get that money flow started, forget about the frozen assets that they have, close to 120 billion worldwide. 120 billion, 120 billion worldwide, whatever sources. Forget about that. Their oil ka-ching is going to start soon. They're going to start selling their oil again. So you're giving them $3 billion a week. That's just as bad. It's just as bad as a plane load of money. You are now allowing them to You have it in an economic critical point, and now you're giving them a way out of it by allowing them to get revenue again. How is that different? How is that different? You just gave them the escape clause by extending this for 2 months. It's crazy. It's just another way. I don't know. Again, we have to see how this plays out. What? Exactly. They have threatened Ivanka, her husband and her family. How many times, and I truly believe this, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. How many times have we heard the possibility that Iran wasn't just involved in one alleged attempt, but maybe others on the president? And these are the people we're working with? I don't get it. To me, we can look at this many ways, but right now the midterms are coming. People are bitching about the economy situation here in the United States. The off-ramp needs to be taken soon to calm things down here, to get ready for the midterms. He may say it has nothing to do with it. Oh, but Republicans do. You can bet on that. They don't want to have to run on what's going on right now because the economy is always a major issue in any election. And they know it. They know it. So there's a lot involved here. There's a lot of layers. It's complicated. I don't think necessarily that we give a shit about the global support that goes to the EU or anywhere else. It has to be America first concerns. And right now, that is a concern here. You know what I mean? Seems to be the most conspiracy theorist. Yes. Fringe, I can show you something on the screen, but I can get in trouble because it happened to me in the past. Go look up Project Northwood on how the CIA, back in the early 60s, were going to try to create a false event to start a war with Cuba. That's actually documented. They declassified that. So I'm not saying that that shit doesn't happen because there's evidence contrary to that. Go look it up, Project Northwood. It's fascinating to see what they were trying to plot, different scenarios to create a war with Cuba. It's Project, let me look it up quick. You can actually download the PDF document. I have it. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. I'll share the screen quick, but you can go look it up in detail. The documents are available, more images. Operation Northwoods was a proposed plan by the U.S. military in '62 to stage false flags attacks against American civilians and military targets, blaming them on Cuba to justify military intervention. Right here. You won't believe some of the stuff that's in here. It was ultimately rejected by President Kennedy and was never implemented. Now, just think about that. He rejected it. They wanted it. Does this have anything to do with JFK? Speculation. They wanted to do it. He said no. Go read the documents. It's fascinating. I'll give you the link, Candace. How's that? It's better. This way you know it. The Rumble. So it's not like it hasn't happened. There you go, Candace, on Facebook. No, Fringe, it's fine. It's fine that you brought it up. It's actually fascinating. Yes, that's conspiracy facts. That's why you got to be careful, because sometimes that stuff leads to truth. Just saying. And you wouldn't believe the stuff that they outlined in that. It's unbelievable. Yeah, they released the third batch. There's a bunch of stuff, Ghost. It's a lot. And I don't want to get into this whole JFK thing. I'm just showing you that there has been to you in this. Can you imagine this? Just think about this, because people tie this to 9/11. You might say, how? Did you remember the theories that there were automated planes that hit? Okay. This Northwoods actually mentions putting up people on a plane, a civilian aircraft, but then swapping it with a drone civilian aircraft. Go read it. They actually were going to swap it out with a drone, a controlled, unmanned civilian plane, then create a mayday, have it taken down, and saying it was shot down by the Cubans. It's in that Northwoods. I was like, oh my God. They had it all planned out. And that's just one scenario. They had a few. Go read that. Download the PDF. It's fascinating. So that's why I don't discount anything. So, yeah, it is a interesting read, because it was declassified. Right, Ghost? That's what I'm saying. It does. And people made that connection, but a lot of people aren't aware of Operation Northwoods. Exactly, Bean. Like I said, you can download that PDF. It's a fascinating read to see what they were up to, but it was rejected to try to create a confrontation with Cuba. Yes, I believe that reality. That was the talk, that he was going to become the trillionaire. So I would say everybody hold back. Don't rush to any, because you know how we all are. It's human condition, human nature. Let's see how this plays out in the next day. I know this has been going on for weeks and months now, since the ceasefire was implemented. Let's just see how this plays out. Because believe it or not, both sides look like they're being very cautious. I am including Iran in this. Looks like both sides are really playing this cautious to try to actually do something. That could be a sign that this is serious. Because I'm not seeing on Telegram or X, on some of these social media posts, it looks like they're being restrained. They're having some restraint, and they're cooling off on the rhetoric right now. I'm not seeing those saying, no, we rejected this is a lie, blah, blah, blah. I'm not seeing that. So there could be some truth to this. Now, are they going to change the wording in this and that'll mess it all up? Like, no, we didn't necessarily agree to that, or we didn't necessarily agree to what you said, and then throw a wrench in it, and then it goes on and on and on. A delay, more talks, blah, blah. Who knows? See, they're putting it again. They're sharing the foreign minister's comment. And exactly, it's not a peace deal. The other side is saying it. It's an agreement to talk to each other. So this is what the other side is saying. And they're not being nice to him when they... I'm just going to read to you what Middle East Spectator just put out. President Trump, I don't know if you heard, but we just ended the war with Iran today, and they have agreed to never have a nuclear weapon. Then they put, what a clown. Iran agrees to the Memorandum of Understanding. That's the first step in a long line of discussions and talks to be scheduled after July 4th. It's not a peace deal. It's a Memorandum of Understanding toward a possible nuclear deal. Neither side can understand each other enough to get to the MOU to actually become official. After Iran signs it, there will be a 30-day period for negotiations on a detailed agreement regarding nuclear issues and the opening of the Strait of Hormuz. So I'm hearing that we think that the Strait is going to be opened up immediately. Iran's saying in the first 30 days. This period is intended to establish a framework for further discussions and potential resolutions. So this puts a lot of shit in the game. That's why I say I don't believe this will ever happen. An actual deal months from now will be agreed to. So that's just what the propaganda side is saying on the other side. I'm just reading to you. Take it for what it's worth. I'm just reading to you what they're saying. So it doesn't look like they're very happy about certain things either on the other side. But I don't think they have a choice. They can complain about it, but it looks like something might happen. Hold on, I gotta delete. A lot of spam too on Telegram. So that's all I'm seeing right now. I'm about to go in the pool and relax for a little while before the thunderstorms come. Forecasted. We may get severe weather here. Keep an eye on southeastern Oklahoma. I don't know if it's still going on. The border of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. There's storms there. Tennessee had storms earlier going north. From that location, there's other storms in the area. So the weather, I'm going to check it one more last time, and I'm going in. Because you know what I regret every year? Not going in the pool. That I should have. Every year, it's like, I should have went in, and I didn't. And now I regret it. I should have took more advantage of it. And there's that line developing to my west that I was watching. Right here. If I want to keep an eye on this, see if this line intensifies. Because that could affect us in the Northeast and New England later. So I am definitely keeping on to see how this develops, if at all. And it's early. But you could see the weather down south, central. This is a nasty in Oklahoma, just east, southeast of Oklahoma City. That's pretty strong right here. So there is some nasty weather out there. And then again, Tennessee seems to be active. Look at Memphis right now. So there's some nasty weather out there. And the potential for more. You could see how it stretches. The line. It's not filled in yet, but this could definitely fill in as the afternoon progresses. Daylight heating. So yeah, keep an eye on your weather. I know, somebody told me about this Texas thing. What's going on? Oh my God. Fringe, what is going on? What is this? Oh my God. Another nut job. I pray for all those people. He barricaded himself inside a building in downtown Midland. Wow. So this is another thing. One day, officials say, I want to see a little bit more before because I really don't like until more information is available to speculate, even though they say there's alleged reports coming out about injuries or death and all that. It's a fluid situation. You really got to wait for the information to really come out by law enforcement, the local officials. etc. I'm not going to buy too much into that right now, but it seems like something is going on in Texas, sadly. So Bean is saying it. You guys are saying it in chat. Hold on. I was looking at Fringe on Rumble. Oh yeah, in the World Cup today, Kava? It's going to be hot here, Daryl. It's going to feel like 100 here. All right, Fringe, love to you, and tell Astro I send my love, please. Unless this is Astro. Sometimes I don't know. Have a great weekend and love to both of you. And to the people up there in Alberta. Okay. FBI and SWAT are now on the scene on active shooter within Midland, Texas. 4 in critical. 5 state. Oh my God. I'm just reading what you guys are writing. Oh my God, what? Massive Medline warehouse in Tracy burned down by someone pissed about the price of things? People are sick. Did you see that there was a police officer trying Canada? No, I didn't see that either. And that's another thing. This shit is not just over there, it's everywhere. We have to do something about it. And I'm not saying stereotyping a whole group of people who are religious of this or that. It's these extremist, radical. I got to be careful because I don't want to get hit. I'm on multiple streams right now. But you know what I'm saying. These people need to be eradicated. They threaten everyone. Period. And they're not looking, when they do their thing, they're not, they're just trying to do as much mass, casualty and harm. That's what, you got to worry about. Like they say, see something, say something. Don't forget that. If you see something suspicious, better to be safe than sorry. Say something. Yeah, people have had it. They're fed up. And that's when they lose control. When the chaos, and believe me, there are many, I don't want to say many, there are some out there that want nothing more than to create anarchy, chaos, destruction, harm. Sadly, there are individuals like that. There's also the sadistic element to this, that there are people that enjoy to do this. They think it's fun. They think it's funny. They get entertained by shit like this. That's even more insane when you think about it. The sadistic aspect of it. That fire looked like a oil refinery got hit. Huge warehouse. It was last night? Oh, shit. JC, really? Do they think it's possibly the remains? You guys keep making me sit here because you're bringing up more news. I want to get out there. All right. Anyway. Okay. So I'm going to take a break now. I've been on for hours. I don't even know how long already. Keep an eye. If you hear something, say something to me on the comments area after this stream is over. If you guys hear anything, specifically right now about Iran. I'll keep an eye on these other developments that are going on in these other areas. But if you guys hear anything or see anything significant, like from officials, like if the president makes a statement or Rubio or someone who has credibility, please let me know so I can look into it later. But I'm going to be busy tonight. Tonight's a busy night for me. So I won't be around from 6 on, 5 on. And then I might go see a movie in the morning. I may come on late, but I'm not planning to stay up late tonight because I want to get up early to go see Disclosure Day. I know Eugenie. It's garbage. I know, I get it. But I got to go see it. So I'm going to be pretty busy. If you know what, dude? If somebody did that JC, including myself, there'd be problems. Like, I don't know if you could see it, and I don't know if the camera's probably exhausted. That pool is so clean. I would flip. I would flip if someone else did it or me. There's no excuses for me. There's no excuses for anyone. Look how dark I'm getting, by the way. It's not even officially summer and I'm already beyond color. Oh yeah, the back ones, the front ones are not working. Watch, you want to see? Before I go, because I'm about to go there. It even looks hot. There's some definitely cloud cover, but it's hot. It feels like 100. All right, so now I'm going to go out there and walk the camera, the ring, to the pool so you can see what it looks like. It is so clean. Oh! Let me take a stove for the walk. Actually, yeah. Oh! My back is really bad. Really bad. Really bad. Oh my God, it's hot. Oh my God. Now, leaves, I always have to deal with the leaves because of all the freaking shit around the pool. Leaves is always an issue. That's the first thing I go in to clean. The leaves. It's always a problem with the leaves. Always. I just saw a beautiful, huge hawk out there. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh my God. I'm not even sure it was a hawk. It might have been an eagle. Because it kind of had the color of an eagle, but it was most likely a hawk. I don't know if you guys seen it. It was beautiful. Oh, no. Apple juice is taking a break for a while. Seriously. Oh, my God. Hell no. Definite break. Let me see what you guys are saying. But you look like you've been in the smoker. Oh my God. I'll bring the keg. Listen, and Mark, I don't know if Mark is still in there. Mark's been to my house numerous times. The Daily Frog Rescue. We have a good time when we all get together here. We have fun. So, oh man, yeah, I gotta go. I could see it. If I was lazy, I'd let the little robot do the cleaning on the bottom, but I'm gonna be in it, so I'll just clean it myself. But I enjoy it because I put the music. Oh, shit. Oh, it should be outside. Wait a minute. I took all of it inside. I'm going to have to put the amplifier outside with the... to put my music out there. I'm going to go have fun out there right now. Take some water with me. No apple juice. Not today. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, you lovelies. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Be well, be blessed, be safe. I might come back later for a little while. I don't know. If not, definitely tomorrow. I'll actually, I'm going to go to the movies in the morning. I'll stream from the movie theater for a quick minute. Then I'll come home and see where it takes me from there. We'll see. But please, if you hear anything, put a comment in the YouTube section. If you hear anything, please let me know because I do see it. I saw Marianne, I see Kevin, I see a bunch of you putting comments in. Keep me in the loop if you hear anything so I know. Because that's the easiest way. You guys tell me, I can go on the computer when I come in and go right and check it out. So I appreciate that. Providing the information. Up to date. Because you guys all rock. Even Eugene. I'm busting his chops. All right, everybody. Have a great one. Be well, be blessed, be safe. I'm going in the pool for a while. And I'll see you all later, if not tomorrow. Till then, have a great one. Have a great week.